Arachin Daf Chovav, as we were learning, if somebody takes a field they inherited from Chalukas Haaretz as De'achuza and gives it to the Bedek Habayis, he can go and redeem it from the Bedek Habayis, 50 shekel for 49 years. Anybody else can redeem it the same way. But what happens if the field remains as is and nobody redeemed it and Yovel came and went? Three-way machloikis. According to Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon, the field automatically goes to the Kohen. Kohanim. According to Rabbi Yehuda, the Kohanim have to pay for it 50 shekel, just like they would have to pay for a house that somebody donated to Bedek Habayis. And according to Rabbi Shimon, the Kohanim get it for free. Just like they get the Kifsi Atzeres, the lambs on Shavuos, they get the carbon for free, they get the Zdei Achuzah for free. Rabbi Lazar says no. The field stays as is, and we call it a Zdei Ritushim. And if another 50 years go by, the next Yovel comes and goes, and nobody redeems it, it's called Ritushim. How does Rabbi Lazar know his halacha? Well, there's a few attempts in the Gemara. Rabbah says that he has the pasuk that says, "V'im lo yigalis hasada," if the owner doesn't redeem the field in red, and then he jumps, he skips over the words in blue, and he goes to the words in red in the knife, lo yigayeloid. He can't redeem it any longer. And the words in blue, that's v'im mochar hasada, if the gizbar from the Bedek Habayis sells the field, then he jumps to pasuk chaf aleph, goes to the kohanim. Says Abaye, wait a minute. That's a sakina harifa, that's a very sharp knife. You just cut up the pasuk and you did what you wanted with it. I don't like that. Says Abaya, we learned out from the words lo yigail oid, you can't redeem it any longer. That's if somebody redeemed it, you can't redeem it any longer. But if it stays as is, then we don't do anything with it. Rava says, the pshat is because it says, the field that went out from somebody else, if it went out, then it goes to the kohanim. Otherwise, if nobody redeemed it, it doesn't go to the kohanim. There's machlokes l'shonos. What exactly did Reb Lazar hold if Yovel went and came, and the owner wants to redeem his field? Anybody can redeem the field. The question is if the owner has any special status. If he redeems it, does it become as de'achuza, where it goes back into his family's estate and it stays with him forever? Or he's just like anybody else. It's as they mikna, and if he redeems it, it will go back to the kohanim and Yovel. And there's a question in the Gemara what Reb Lazar holds. There's a 6-step case that the Gemara brings, and that is if initially the owner went and was magdish to Bedek Habayis, then came along a stranger and redeemed it from the Bedek Habayis. It stayed in his possession until Yovel. Yovel came. Step number 4, it goes to the kohanim. One kohen went, he had the whole field, he went and he was magdish it. That's step number 5. And then the owner, the original owner, in step number 1, here he is again in step number 6, he comes and he redeems the field. For that, the pasuk says, Lo yigal oid. It doesn't go back to him as it was in the beginning, which was as de'achuza. It goes back to him only as de mikna, and it can only remain there until the yovel. There's another case, a very similar case, just instead of the kohanim being magdish it, the kohen went and he sold it. So that would be step number 5. Step number 5, he sold it to acher, to a stranger. Goes the acher, the stranger, in step number 6, and he's magdish it. In step number 7, goes somebody else and redeems it. Step number 8 is that it goes back to the kohanim and it doesn't revert back to the original owner, because it says in the pasuk asher kanehu mi'itoi, and therefore the one he bought it from is the kohen, not the original owner. Says the Mishnah, if a person buys a zdei achuzah from his own father, so at this point it's like a zdei mikna. He bought a field from his father, and then his father passed away. So his father passed away. According to everybody, if he goes ahead and he's magdish this field, it's a zdei achuzah, because his father gave him zdei achuzah properties when he died. But if he went and he was magdish before his father died, here's a machlokes. According to Rameir, it's not as zdei achuzah, and according to Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda, it is as zdei achuzah. The Gemara wanted to say that it's based on a machlokes of kinyan peiros ke kinyan agov dami. What does that mean? Since the son bought the field, we could look at it in 2 ways. We could look at it that the son only bought the rights to the produce, but he doesn't have the actual real estate. When his father passed away, he inherited the real estate, and with that inheritance, he also inherited the zdei achuzah status. That's what Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda hold. Therefore, it's considered as zdei achuzah. But Rameir says no. When the son purchased the field from his father, he purchased the rights to the produce, and that includes kinyan peres kinyan aguf. It's as if he owns the actual real estate. Therefore, when the father passed away, the father didn't give him anything by passing away. He didn't gain anything by the inheritance. If he didn't gain anything by the inheritance, then he didn't gain as the achuzah, remains as the mikna. The Gemara says no. Everybody agrees kinyan peres kinyan aguf. Once you own the produce, you own the whole property. Just Reb Shimon and Reb Yehuda have a new pasuk that says mizdei mikna, and they learn from here that in both cases it's considered as the achuzah. Have a wonderful day.